It's Saturday, 10th of October, 2020. Stream is live. Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm Ultraviolent 4. We're going to be playing a new game of the month. I'm seeing some puns in chat. This is round 2. So I loaded up the first time and I must have been last doing 0.25 in the tournament where I was doing real-time speedrunning. So I had my real-time speedrunning settings on, which didn't seem very appropriate for a Deep Elf Ice Elementalist. But yeah, fix that one. Yeah, hey everyone. This is a pretty big day. Game of the month is finally making it to the 0.25 version. What a time to be alive. Oh dear. Alright. So we're going to be playing a Deep Elf Ice Elementalist. Now the first thing you need to know about that is it's an all caps combo. In the hierarchy of combo powers or strengths, I rank all caps above just a regular combo, then word combos, and then as the pinnacle of just strongest characters possible, word all caps combos. Although not too many of those. But yeah, this is DEIE. Not a word as far as I'm aware, so we're just all caps combo. So pretty strong, but not, not super strong. Anyway, the idea for this one is to be testing out Ice Elementalist start. So in 0.25 there were a lot of spell reworks. This feels like a long time ago. If you've been playing Trunk, you're playing with the reworks, you're playing with food being removed, a bunch of other things. But for me this is a big deal. Lots of spell reworks. And so I figured for Game of the Month it would be good to test those. And yeah, Ice Elementalist seems like one of the more interesting backgrounds in terms of changes, so started with that one. Sebastian's asking me what change am I looking forward to. Well, there's a new spell here, which we'll talk about that in a sec. I'm very interested to try that one. So if we have a look at our starting book, which there are no such things because there aren't books in Crawl anymore. There is a new spell at the top here, which is a level 8 spell, which is called Frozen Ramparts. That's a brand new spell. I've heard a lot of things about that. People saying it's extremely strong. I haven't tried it yet, but my read of it sounds pretty good, pretty interesting. DEIE is a type of, I don't even know what that word is, savory pie. Sort of like a German version of pizza. Well, I see. Interesting. I'm sure if you look hard enough you can find anything being a word, but yeah. I'm going to say this isn't a word combo. Sorry. Because, I don't know. I've played Deep Elf Ice Elementalist before. It doesn't seem as strong as a troll arcane marksman. Therefore, it must not be a all caps word. Anyway, so we've started off, I'm trying to show you because we don't have books anymore. We started off with Freeze as our level 1 spell, which is still the same. Strong spell, can't miss. The main downside of it is that you have to be adjacent to the monster that you're freezing. And then we also, I was just thinking about this, so I haven't seen this yet, but if we go back to our spell list, we don't have a level 2 spell anymore because Throw Frost is gone, which means for the first 2 levels of the game we're only going to be able to fight enemies by getting adjacent to them. Now that's a little bit scary because as a Deep Elf we're kind of fragile. We have I always forget how to do this. Deep Elf. We have minus 20% hit points. So at any given time, yeah, we don't have a lot of hit points to spare. If we look at our aptitudes as well, we're not very good on the defensive ones. Minus 2 fighting aptitude, minus 2 armor, some dodging which is good, minus 2 on shields. So yeah, and also because as a Deep Elf you're almost certainly going to want to be casting spells, you tend to be in lighter armor. So yeah, first 2 levels I think are going to be rough. Oh, troll is TR small. Oh yeah, you got me. What's a good all caps one then? Yeah, right, troll is small. Okay, never mind then. Well, no, it still makes sense because tram is a word. And I said word combos are stronger than all caps combos. So, yeah, the troll is stronger than the deep elf. Yeah, and if deep elf was a word and all caps, it should be stronger than the troll. Anyway, Air Force says this is a special snowflake kind of start. Kind of, yeah. So yeah, as I was saying, we're going to be kind of fragile. We've got 2 levels of being next to things. And then once we hit level 3, we can learn this new spell, Frozen Ramparts. I'm too inexperienced, I just wanted to read about it. Alright, so what this does is it encases surrounding walls with ice for a short period of time. I think it's kind of like the acid walls in slime pits, where it hurts adjacent things. Doesn't get you, doesn't get your allies, but any enemies that wander past the frozen walls get hurt. If they're cold-blooded, they can be slowed, which is cool. And they go, the damage dealt bypasses any armor the target may have. That seems pretty crazy. I didn't know that bit yet. Each victim is only ever affected by 1 icy wall at a time. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, alright. So the way that I understand this is that you get to kite stuff, so that's pretty strong. Sounds pretty bonkers. But we'll see how we go. It's certainly going to be harder at level 2 without Throw Frost. We also then no longer have Throw Icicle at level 4. We have a new spell called Hailstorm. Sebastian's asking if I'll go for weapon skills. Maybe. Depends, right? The way that you should approach Crawl is you wait and see what you find. But my feeling at this point is that most of the time we'd be focusing on spells, at least for a large part of the early and mid game. Not weapons. Yeah, basically acid walls that do cold damage. Okay, sweet. Yeah, fear's a word. Fear's not in all caps though. I'm just reading chat. Ashale says that Hailstorm is kind of bad. Okay, I have seen this one when I was playing in the tournament. I think I was streaming that game. I don't remember what I was playing, but I have tried this one a little bit. This makes a cannonade of hail. Cannonade is an interesting word. Who wrote this description? The peculiarities of the magic involved. Okay. Anyway, basically what this one does is it does random explosions around you. This one does not hit adjacent enemies. It hits ones that are further away from you. And it does cold damage. Says a significant portion of its damage bypasses cold resistance. However, creatures made of pure ice are immune. That last bit is important because your own summon ice beast that you get at level 4 as well won't be hurt by it. So you don't have to worry about blowing up your allies accidentally. D1 Harvard Noel says, ice to meet you, everyone. Ha ha, great. Ice to meet you too. Very good. Awkward is a deal breaker for you, Ashale says. I think you mean in terms of casting it. Yeah, it's, well, you can't target it. So, you know, you might get lots of damage on the thing you want, or you might get not much at all. I agree, it is a bit awkward. Alright, but we're going to start off just with freeze. We have a robe and a ration. This has still got food in our game. I'm going to make a macro to do freeze, which is just ZA. Is it ZA or is it ZAF? It is targeted, right? Yeah, okay, never mind. ZAF, because you got to confirm. It's just that it can only be adjacent to you. What did I play last game of the month? I feel like it was strong. It was a Hillock, right? Yeah, so I remember I started off auto-exploring right from the beginning. We're not going to do that this time. Because we're going to do our skills too. But because we're quite fragile, because we can't swing infinitely with a weapon, like a melee character could, we really need to be careful about where we're moving. We don't want to find packs. We don't want to find multiple enemies at once. We want to be able to have pillars to regenerate our magic points on if we need to. Air Force asked me what kinds of deities I'm looking for this game. Really sort of depends. You should be looking out for the altars that you come across before getting to temple. But, yeah, we'll see. Lechi says there are no all caps word combos. What about Hawk? Hawk is a word, right? Hillock Chaos Knight. I feel like there are more. I feel like you're lying to me. Cactus Overlord has given me $5 as funeral fund for the Fallen Orcs last game of the month. Do orcs do funerals? But thank you. Yeah, I can remember those. That was a lot of fun. I really like playing beer. It's so great. Deck. Yeah, there you go. Deep Elf Chaos Knight. Yeah, any species that is all caps with Chaos Knight will make a word. Oh, no, that's not true. Any species... Okay, no, that was just wrong. All cap species with Chaos Knight potentially make words. No, Chaos Knight is capital CK. Yeah. And Hawk is a word. That's right. Thank you, Cactus Overlord. Evelyn's asking if I've ever played Slay the Spire. I have not. I've watched it though. It seems quite fun. It's one of those things where if I had more time, I'd totally play it. Yes, Calculated Mango says, pay respect to those who gave their lives for Beer's Light. That's it. Alright, skills. This is kind of interesting. Ice Elementalist in the past always started off with Conjurations. But now, because Freeze doesn't have it, Frozen Ramparts doesn't, Ozukubo's Armor doesn't. Note how I never even mentioned that spell because I don't like it much. It's not until you get to level 4 with Hailstorm that you finally get some Conjurations. So you can't even train it from the beginning of the game. You couldn't anyway, but you would start with some training and then you'd get it at level 2. Now we can't even train it. So I'm not going to train Stealth, I don't like that very much. We're going to focus our Ice Magic. We have a glorious +3 spellcasting aptitude, which is great. I'm going to focus it too, just because you get so much return as a Deep Elf. And we're also going to keep dodging on as our defensive skill of choice. Alright, let's go. Let's finally play the game. And we're going to be manually exploring, not auto-exploring. Alright, Freeze is a really good spell, by the way. It does a lot of damage. Can't miss. 3 scrolls of something, just in a pile. I really want to read it. That could totally kill us, so I'm going to wait. I'm very tempted to read it, but if that's something like noise or teleportation, that could just straight up kill us. So let's hang out on that one. I'm trying to remember this starting vault. I feel like this might have a quokka in it. If so, that's really scary. There are some stones and a short sword here. This short sword might be cursed, but I don't care. Because, yeah, curse -3. I mean, I do care a little bit. I meant, okay, I do care. But I meant, I don't care insofar as I'm going to hold off wielding it. Triple acquirement? PogChamp? Could be. And this would be new acquirement too. I don't know, do acquirement scrolls spawn on D1? I don't know that they do. It's this weird thing that I've never properly looked into, but there are some items that I think never spawn on D1. I think summoning scrolls, potion of experience, maybe also acquirement. But anyway, so this sword, it sucks, it's -3, cursed. Doesn't really matter because we'd prefer to use freeze any chance we could. And having the sword won't harm our freezing. It's just that if we ever run out of magic points and say it's something faster than us, like an adder, it would be better off we're fighting with a weapon rather than not. I wonder if I should leave these open. Probably. If we say find a jackal in this room that's gonna be faster than us, maybe we can make it into the next one and shut the door before it gets to us. What's there, Quokka? Wow, we nearly died to that rat. And by nearly, I mean not nearly, but we took a lot of damage. Nice, we even stabbed that one. Okay, apparently this one doesn't have quokkas in it, which is good. But we gained some experience and found some scrolls and a crappy dagger. Yeah, people are talking about acquirement. Yeah, so what it does is it gives you 5 choices. It will always give you food and gold, at least till we get to the version where food's removed. And then it will give you 3 items that you will see and you can specifically pick from. So I think it's probably better in that you can choose from the things you'll actually get, but potentially, well, I don't want to say annoying, but you can't pick a category anymore. So say you really, really want some sort of armor, and then this new requirement might not offer you armor. But I mean, you might pick armor under the old system and it gives you a -6 hat, so same. A kobold. So what I want to do here, because we picked up some stones, is rather than walking into the open and the unknown here, and potentially revealing more monsters, I'm going to throw a stone at him. The stone missed. Is this new? I thought it was a thing that projectiles never ever miss sleeping enemies. He shouted, so he's going to attract enemies. That's okay, we'll fight just the kobold. And I just realized we've got a nice little pillar here in the middle of our starting vault. Where did he go? So we can always run back. Fortunately, he didn't have a weapon. But yeah, that's really thrown me. For a long time now, I've been telling people that projectiles won't miss sleeping enemies. But that one definitely missed, right? I saw it. It said the stone missed the kobold. How do you miss a sleeping kobold? Enon says Ozakubo's armor was also changed so that it can be used with any armor, not just really low light ones. Is that true in 0.25 or is that just in trunk? Because I think it's still the same for the game that we're currently playing. Yeah. Oh, and with wimpy elf arms. I forgot to say as well that because we're playing a seeded game, if you check out the description, it'll give you instructions to play along, which I always recommend because it's fun and it's good learning. Sleep stabs always hit, Baron says. Yeah, but I thought projectiles also did. Well, clearly I'm wrong because that one missed. The Ozakubes changes trunk, not 0.25. Yep, thank you. Knife is wishing me good luck. I got my first win the other day thanks to your vids. Awesome, congrats. I always love hearing those. First wins are special. So yeah, pretty awesome. We found a ring mail. I picked that up out of habit, but that's probably not something we should wear. Yeah, as noted, we have wimpy elf arms. We also just have wimpy elf strength. So we start off with 5 strength and 19 intelligence, 15 dex as well. So really smart, but really not very sturdy. It's difficult to wear heavier armors. And the way that I tend to play my deep elves is I pick strength because I like not being in robes and having, if you can get somewhere up near 8 or even 10, maybe you can wear something slightly heavier. But yeah, no, there's probably no point with this ring mail. It's also potentially dangerous because it was just on the ground. Could be cursed. So I don't want to put that on, find out it's cursed, and then now it's too heavy for us to learn our other spells. Could essentially give us a death sentence. Yeah, I remember that, Evelyn. Your significant other got their first win in a week after you've been playing for ages. It's pretty funny. Taxicab says that Delver is so you can be a Hillock and worship beer faster. Yeah, I've had a few people say that, and I talked about the possibility of it, but I'm not sure that it's better than Monk, because you might find the priest earlier because you're a Delver, but then you start off at no piety, whereas with the Monk you find the priest later, but you immediately go to 2. So I don't know which is better. I suspect maybe the Monk is. We just made it to level 2. Normally you would learn through Frost, not in 0.25 though. We're still going to be freezing things for the next level up to level 3. I'm going to run back. We're starting to explore a long way in one direction. It doesn't matter. We got all sorts of pillars in here. It doesn't really make a difference actually, as long as we have nearby pillars. Here is a shaft which we have seen, which is nice because it means we can, if we need to, we could try to lure enemies to fall down it if we can't fight them. For this goblin, he didn't wake up and he's got a weapon. I'm just gonna walk away. Level 2 we're tankier than level 1, but still with a weapon he can 2-shot us, I think. Good morning, Baylor. John says the 5-second rule, if you pick it up fast enough, it's not cursed. Maybe I just play too slowly. Maybe that's true. D1 Halberd Null just started a game, and literally first enemy found a D1 Halberd Null. Yeah, you meme that one into reality. I feel like you did that to yourself there. Oh hey Shaquille, one of your dungeon masters has been watching my videos for inspiration on dungeons. Oh god, I hope hope your campaign doesn't have any hypothetically optimal trap avoidance in it. That sounds frustrating. Alright, that guy woke up, but he didn't have a weapon, so I don't mind running around to find him again. We've got all sorts of scrolls. We're going to read those later. Chat's amusing today. Chat's always amusing. That's why I keep streaming, because it's a lot of fun. Yeah, no, I very much enjoy it. Which way are we going to go? I'm going to stay away from that goblin. I mean, he's probably not that scary. We got 15 hit points. There's also a potion over there, which, yeah, let's try and sneak around if we can get... No, we can't. Get the potion first. Well, anyway, we'll run away, so we're at least not fighting him near the unknown. So if we make noise and new enemies get attracted, that shouldn't happen now. And Freeze just got him in 1. It's a good spell. Got the potion. Lost Commissioner died on a Minotaur warrior by a pre-lair 8-headed Hydra. I'm gonna bet you were tabbing too fast with an axe and you just didn't realize and tabbed all its heads off, didn't you? Hey Andrew. My Vinestalker Transmuter video back in the day convinced you to play Crawl for the first time. That's amazing. We're in trouble. Alright, so we have also just found a D1 null. It's not a halberd null, it's a spear null. But this enemy means we need to just straight up leave the floor. I'd love to have these javelins, but I mean, do D1 nulls and nets? It's really unlikely, but I think it's still possible. I remember there was a change where I think they got made less likely to have nets on D1, but I think they still potentially could. So I don't want to walk in to grab those javelins greedily, get netted, and then just die. Yeah, D1 nulls. So a D1 null would just murder us, right? If we XV it. It does 9 damage plus its spear. Its spear does 6 damage, so it can do 15 damage in one go. So it could theoretically one-shot us. The thing as well is that with its reach, it can hit us as we get adjacent to it. So we have to be next to it to use freeze, which means if I tried to kill it, I step in, we could get one shot. I try to use freeze. If I don't kill it, it could then one shot me. Even say we lost a big chunk of hit points and I decided, oh no, I better run. We step away, it reaches, it gets another go. So this is not something we can mess with whatsoever. Even D2 nulls would be extremely scary. But yeah, no, we're just gonna have to leave. We can't even be here. The only way is if I just ran away and tried to use the 2.4 stealth we have to lose it. But I don't want to even just randomly run into it in a corridor somewhere. So I think we're just gonna leave. And I'm gonna hope that we don't just go down and meet Sigmund. I might run back over there to that one. It's the furthest away. Maybe it will lose us and not chase us all the way to this stair. So if I do need to come back up, say Sigmund's there, maybe the Gnaw won't be waiting. But this is scary. Read the scroll stack in case it's teleportation. No. That could just kill me. The teleportation could take me closer to the Gnaw. I think just not worth. Terrence with a hand axe. And is that a shining one, Alter? Also more javelins. So the game is trying to replace the javelins for us. This is kind of open. There's another downstairs. Terrence does 5 damage plus the hand axe, so he's less dangerous than the Gnaw, which is kind of funny. So he couldn't one-shot us, but he's also quite scary. Air Force is suggesting that I lure Terrence into this shaft. That did occur to me, but I think that's actually a terrible idea, because we don't know what's down here. So I run down towards the shaft thinking, ha ha ha, I'm a genius. Turns out Sigmund's just down here. There's there's an adder. There's another whole null pack just here. There's a D2 ogre. All this stuff just waiting for us to run down towards the shaft. And then now we'd have to go, uh-oh, better go back. And then we'd get Terrence on top of us. So I think what I'll do is go back up. I'm going to hope that the null just isn't here. And maybe what I'm going to say is that the null chased us up here. So if I try to explore around this way, maybe we can stay away from it. Which is actually a really scary thing to do, because if we meet something scary over here and we have to run back away from it, we might get trapped between that new scary thing and the null. But yeah, I'm being hopeful. I don't know. Dive to D3. I don't want to do that. As I talked about in the beginning, our level 1 and 2 are really hard because we have to be adjacent to things with freeze. So yeah, going to D3 when we should be on D1 with freeze, I don't want to do if I can help it. There's a new amulet there. Amulets are only good now. They removed harm amulets in 0.25, so we can just wear that and not get harm. There's a +2 short sword. I'm going to pick that up because maybe we'll get rid of the cursed one that we currently have. We've got 3 scrolls of something, 4 scrolls of something now. That's very likely. To find 4 scrolls of something, and I just found it in a bunch of different piles on D1, is almost certainly identify or remove curse. So I'm going to read one. Remove curse, cool. So we can get rid of the crappy -3 short sword, and we can have a +1 short sword. There was something else I was going to do. I'm going to try the amulet. Amulet of Faith. Alright, cool. I feel like we may as well keep that on until we know what our god's going to be. I mean, what? Actually, I'm going to remove it because I might forget. There are some gods that I might not want faith on. Vehumet would be one. But remind me, when we find a god, if it's one that I would be good with faith, we could put that back on. Liam's saying that you're pretty sure the damage calculation when an enemy has a weapon is max damage is the base damage plus the weapon -2. I'm pretty sure that's wrong. I'm sorry. Unless that's a change in 0.25 that I never heard of, that's not the case. Have I played with the new ice spells yet? No, that's why we're doing this. So once we get to level 3, we can try Frozen Ramparts and see how OP it is. Jason says, isn't there inaccuracy? I guess there is, but we have freeze, it can't miss. So everyone says, would I say amulets are now harmless? Hey, that was a good one. Bia, right? Unfortunately, Bia won't let us worship as a Deep Elf, otherwise I totally would. I'd play Bia on all my characters, although that'd be a bit weird. I don't know, maybe the lore wouldn't be quite as fun if you were doing it with other things. Oh, that's a lot of enemies. 3 kobolds at once. All with weapons. Which I don't mind. As long as we don't have the null, I'm good with that. Here's a leather armor. Let's throw. So let's not get too cocky. Should still be bringing those guys back to the safe area. Yeah, this is my first time with Frozen Ramparts. Imagine if you could recruit elves. Yeah, that would be fun. So I'm seeing a leather armor here, which and a spear. Alright, I'm gonna wield the spear. Cool, it's +0. The reason I'm going to prefer that over the short sword is that a spear can reach. Whereas with freeze we have to be adjacent. So you know, if we're waiting for an enemy to come to us, I may as well poke it as it approaches before we then freeze it. And the leather armor, yes. So that might be -3 and cursed again. Although we got remove curse, so maybe that's okay. I don't mind trying this. I tend to like wearing leather armor early game over robes, even on my spellcasters, because you're usually training an AC for an evasion, and it doesn't mess up your spellcasting too much. For instance, at the moment, Frozen Ramparts 6% failure. If I put leather armor on, it's 10%. So it's not a huge difference, and we just traded an AC for an evasion. Yeah, which I don't mind. I'd rather have the AC. I'd rather have 3 AC rather than 2. That difference is greater than the difference between 12 and 13 evasion. Cool. 3 kobolds in a trench coat. Huh, maybe that is how they get big kobolds. You might actually be right there. Huh. Yeah. Huh. 3 kobolds in a trench coat would be a hilariously fun, unique enemy. For sure. So there's our other downstairs. That's what I was looking for. So I didn't want to go back over there to the knoll. And we didn't want to mess with Terrence. But maybe this one will be better. Okay, we're near Terrence. Maybe we can just stay away from him. Ooh, those 3 scrolls we found in the beginning, I kind of still don't want to read them, because if they're teleportation, we might be in trouble. I guess we can run, just try and... Oh, he's down there. We can go the other way. Let's grab those javelins, they're really good to throw. I'm going to quiver those 2. They do a lot of damage, and even though we're going to throw them really slowly, we have no other ranged attacks, so this is just something good. We're going to check this out, see what this altar is, if it is an altar. I think it's just the shining one. It is. Alright, thoughts on the shining one? We have a +1 invocations. It's one of those gods where a lot of people, a lot of even experienced players would tell you that the Shining One's basically garbage in a throwing game, but I've never agreed with that. I tend to like the Shining One quite a bit. So what would this do for us? Obviously once you get to the higher levels of piety, angels just wreck face. But other things that it could do that would help us, Divine Shield is always good, especially if we have, you have fast enemies like wyverns that get on top of you. But another thing, and JFC has just pointed this out, and I quite like it, is that it increases the accuracy of all your spells that could miss. And it's not just you, it's also your allies. So, as an Ice Elementalist, we have Summon Ice Beast in our spell list. These allies inside our TSO aura would all have greater accuracy for their attacks. Welcome to the Kingdra says, not a big deal. I mean, yes, but no. As in, it's better than nothing, right? Like, as in, you wouldn't be picking this, you shouldn't be like, hell yeah, the shining one. I'm picking that for the accuracy. But if you're saying what does this god give us as a whole, one of the things is that we will get greater accuracy. And we also will, get See Invis. See Invis is probably not that exciting. If you know me, I don't tend to put my rings on because I'm lazy. And Freeze doesn't miss anyway, so you can hit Invis things. But yes, that it certainly would help our Ice Beast again, get Invis stuff. It means that we wouldn't be allowed to use evil things, so we'd be ruling out necromancy at this really early point. But considering we found this right at the beginning of D2, we've got an Amulet of Faith, and I feel like this is a perfectly serviceable god that has some synergy with our character. I feel like this is worth taking. So, some people will always want to wait to the temple, or they'll have a specific god in mind, but my advice is if you're trying to win, you should very strongly consider the early altars you find, because this is the hardest part of the game, and having a god up and running really early makes you a lot stronger. So yeah, Evelyn asks, is it good enough to pick it before seeing the rest of the floor? I think so, because we're going to start building piety immediately, and we're going to have the faith. And by immediately, I mean we have to kill evil things, so maybe not immediately. I mean, okay, that's a fair point. I could walk around and wait till we even find an evil enemy before worshipping. So yeah, maybe that's a nice little min-max there. Because just fighting regular enemies won't give us piety anyway. So yeah, I guess we can wait and see a little bit. I think the point there of that question is that when you have altars on a floor, it's not uncommon to find more altars. Kind of like shops in a way. Not exactly like shops, but especially, so if your temple is a smaller one, it means that there are going to be lots of altars around. So seeing some altars can be an indication that you find more altars, generally. So yeah, maybe we'll find a different god, and yeah. People are talking about the piety. This has also been my experience, and this is another thing I disagree with conventional wisdom on. People will say that piety is hard to get in a 3-room game with the Shining One, because in the regular dungeon you don't have the evil stuff. I just think that's wrong. There's so much evil stuff everywhere. Zombies, skeletons, imps. There are so many things that you just normally don't even think about it. But when you're playing the Shining One, you do. I don't want to fight Terrence. He's going to guard both my upstairs. Terrence is going to make this rough for us, isn't he? Yeah, okay. I'm just going to try to stay away from him. Actually, you know what? Now that we have actually been down into this unknown, I might be able to get him to go down the shaft. And that would make our D2 a lot safer. I could also just throw javelins. He went invis. See? This is why we should have picked the Shining One. Alright. Well, I definitely don't want to fight an invis, Terrence, so we're just going to go back up. And we're going to wait so that he's not still invis that we go down, and we're going to go down again. And we can try again. Although now I walked away from the shaft. Well, let's just see if we can kill him with javelins. Answer is no. And then actually I forgot, because we throw javelins so slowly, I let him get on top of us. That's fine. We'll see if we can shaft him. Because I've seen the shaft, I won't ever fall down it unless I deliberately try to, but enemies might. It's possible he didn't. Especially intelligent enemies are less likely to fall down them. But yeah, he did in this case. Cool. Quick, go worship the Shining One. I get Scene Viz right away. No, I wouldn't get Scene Viz right away. I'd have to get a bit of piety for it. Plus, your Halo initially is only just around you, so he'd be adjacent to us anyway. Which would be the same as having Freeze, because Freeze isn't going to miss. So it wouldn't actually help us. It was more just, you know, I make yokes. So there are all these plain robes around. If I still just had... I've got all these throwing things. If I still just had the regular robe... Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, boy. Alright. Oh, and then I just hit the wrong move button. He could have actually just killed us there. So, I meant to go diagonally down and step away from him, but I accidentally just hit down. So, we could have died there. He could have bitten me again for 12 damage. That was a miskey. That's something you should be careful of when you're nearly dying, is that you don't press the wrong button. That was really scary. Something that I could do is just kite him with the spear. The problem is that we could be doing that for like ever. Oh god, I'm doing this really carefully. I don't want to press the wrong button again and die. Alright, we might just not bother with the worm. Not having any ranged attack makes that a lot more annoying. I mean, we have the javelins, I guess. I'm thinking, I could shaft the Halberd, but actually that's probably worse. I'd probably rather the Halberd be stuck up here on D1 and not annoying me on D2 now. Oh, speaking of Halberd, there he is. Which means he's not guarding the stair over there, so maybe we'll try that one. There's a hatch down. Alright, let's try the other stair. Yes, you can shaft enemies. He had another remove curse scroll. Liam's saying, sorry for being wrong about the damage calc. It's minus 1d3, not minus 2 when they have a weapon. Again, I don't think that's true either. Is this a 0.25 thing? I don't want to do a complicated beam query on the fly, but I'm absolutely certain that enemies can do the max damage of their damage plus the weapon. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's not a huge deal. If you're talking about an enemy can one-shot you or take you to 1 damage, I feel like you probably don't want to fight that enemy. Oh yeah, right. We got completely rid of Terrence. I was just walking around like a scaredy cat, worrying about Terrence. But yeah, we shafted him. Well, we need star. I mean, can I just kill this guy? We've got 10 javelins. Surely we can 10 javelin him to death. Okay. Not quite, but with a freeze at the end we did. Which brings us to level 3. So we get to pick strength. I like picking strength on my Deep Elf or my low strength casters like Spriggans too. Because I like to be in a little bit heavy armor, like a Swamp Dragon Scales is perfect. And then as we've just hit level 3, we can now learn Frozen Ramparts, which is purely an ice spell. Let's see how this goes. I have not seen it. I don't know if it's targeted. We have Remove Curse. I can put this ring on immediately. Protection from cold, very on theme. double-headed kraken win. Okay, so we still haven't seen any undead enemies. Oh, here's our first adder. Well, I'm gonna freeze it. I'm not gonna mess around with frozen ramparts. Ice elementalists are pretty good at dealing with adders, so they're really scary in part because of their evasion. They're hard to hit, but freeze won't miss, and freeze will also slow it because it's cold-blooded. So yeah, we're not as afraid of an adder as most enemies would be, and I should not have let that quokka get on me. Quokkas are fast, so it's just absolutely no reason to let it get on top of me. I'm gonna try this worm again. Oh wait, we can try frozen ramparts. It tells me it's extremely dangerous to cast because it has a 9% failure chance. That does not seem right. Whoa! This thing's huge! The AoE on this is enormous! And does it follow you? No. But it makes frozen walls everywhere. I was expecting, you know, maybe 1 or 2 tiles, but this thing is massive. Alright, well this spell might be bonkers. Alright, people are quoting numbers for damage. Alright, so John's saying ramparts is AoE but needs walls nearby. So if I do it out here, I see, so it's sort of this range, yes. Yeah, so if I do it here, yeah, no walls to affect. Okay, so it didn't even cast it. Alright, cool. Yeah, alright, well that seemed like a really strong spell. I'm gonna try the hatch up. I see a magical leather armor that we're gonna try. Darren says the only spell better is the new Ice Cube spell. What is the new Ice Cube spell? Do you mean the Absolute Zero? Yeah, people are saying yes, this is the version of Frozen Ramparts that has been nerfed. So it was stronger in the beginning. We're going to try this leather armor because we have Remove Curse. It's just cursed and +0, great. Oh well. And we're still waiting till we find either another altar or maybe an evil enemy to make our Shining One altar worth worshipping at. Orcs. Are orc priests considered evil? I don't remember. Also, Ozakubo's armor, I kind of can't be bothered. So we're going to want both Hailstorm and Summon Ice Beast, and we're going to need another 8 spell levels for both of those. So I'd rather just wait on Ozakubo's armor. Maybe we'll use it later, probably not. But I certainly don't want to use my spell levels on it at the moment. It would also require us to train more charms, which I don't want to do. Don's saying that Ozakubo's refrigeration is better now too, since it doesn't cause self-damage. Yes, and I think it also does additional damage, so it's stronger too. But that does seem like another good one to try. Or we can try ramparts. Extremely dangerous at 9%? That does not seem right. Well, so this does seem like a bonkers spell. And these enemies are just, look at it, they're not even making it to us. That is, yeah, I think that's bonkers. We just killed like 4 orcs there without barely having to do anything. Alright, good spell. Especially in hallways, where enemies have to run down it towards you, taking all the ice damage. Right, because we're on level 3, we can try these scrolls that we picked up. This 3 here is what we got at the very start of the game. It was teleportation, there you go. I'm going to go back up. So I'm glad that we didn't do that on D1. No, we'll read the others. 2, one's immolation, one is noise. We'll wait here, see if anything comes. Nothing did. Yep. Immolation is also different now. Because you can give the immolated status to your summon monsters. So we could do summon Ice Beast and then read immolation, and we would explode our allies. Pretty good. Don's really looking forward to my Octopod playthrough. Yes, that's a little while off, but I'm looking forward to it too. That is the beauty of being the one picking the game of the month, is that I get to pick combos that I myself would enjoy playing. Except for Naga Venom Mage. That one's gonna make me angry, but yes. Octopod's one of my favorite species to play. We're running down a really long hallway away from the stairs. I don't want to do that anymore. Although in saying that, it sounds good for Frozen Ramparts. Oh yeah, and you can also kite stuff as you're doing that. Yeah, so we can just fight Terrence now. We can just kill him with Frozen Ramparts. Yeah, so we just make the hallway go freezing, and then we just walk away. And then as he chases us, if he makes it through, we cast it again. That's crazy, this spell is bonkers. Oh dear, and I'm thinking of what Conjure Flame is like now, where it makes it extremely difficult to kite enemies with it, or stay away from them. Compare that to this, that's crazy. Anyway, we made it to level 4. We got our 8, so we're gonna worship, we're gonna learn both of those, Summon Ice Beast and Hailstorm. If there's one that I could get first, I guess it might be the Summon Ice Beast, because having summons is just really, really strong. Let me check. Our summoning is a +1 aptitude, whereas our conjurations is also +1. It's no difference. I'm just going to train spellcasting without focus. I'm also going to focus up conjurations. Not conjurations, the other one, summoning. Let's get Ice Beast first. Ice Beast can also, because you're making summons, you can block enemies with hexes. You can do all sorts of things with it. Yeah. Oh, Cave Light only just noticed? Yeah, I'm doing a Naga Venom Mage. I'm doing it because of you. I don't know if it's next. It might be 1 or 2 months. But yes, I specifically picked Game of the Month because for Naga Venom Mage because of your exploits. Go check it out. You get a shout out in the announcement. Yeah, that's why I'm doing it. Cave Light. I don't know why Cave Light decided that he would just streak Naga Venom Mage games until I played it, and I continually told him that that wouldn't get me to play it, but he's been doing it for like a year, so it's so bad that I figure, alright, I'll play it. Anyway, not a combo that I recommend at all. I think it's an absolute garbage combo, and it makes me somewhat angry. Alright, well, speaking of Conjure Flame, we have just picked up the Book of Minor Magic, which is a fantastic book for us. Fantastic book for any low-level caster, but especially one like us with a Deep Elf, where we're good at every spell school, more or less. This gives us a lot of options. First of all, it gives us Magic Dart, which is a damage spell from a distance, although it's pure conjurations. There are a lot of things that we're going to want here. Probably not slow though. Let's hide slow. Or the opposite is go in our list. We're not going to want Conjure Flame. I just talked about that Frozen Ramparts is just better. But all these others we may want. We currently have 0 spell levels, so I got a little bit to think about it. But things that I want, Magic Dart would give us damage from a distance. Blink is a good escape ability. Call Imp is just more summons. Probably that's not as high priority as the others. And then Mephitic Cloud is also good just as a panic button. To confuse enemies, you can just run away. And or, you can confuse them. It works well with Summon Ice Beast because the Ice Beasts have poison resistance. So you confuse the enemy, your Ice Beasts do the fighting. It's just good. What exploits? Yeah, just playing Naga Venom Mage over and over again. We can have a look. How do you look up the player page? Can we just look up Street Cave Light maybe? currently has 3 consecutive Naga Venom Mages. I don't know. Basically, he's been trying to streak Naga Venom Mages for I think over a year now. I want to put him out of his misery. Yeah, and I don't recommend that the rest of you try that. Oh, it's another. Oh, okay, we got the null pack. Alright, we're running. Although we got ramparts now. Can we just rampart them all? No, we can't. Let's try again. Yeah, because we can kite them. This spell is bonkers. We're gonna fight early null packs with a single level 3 spell on a Deep Elf. That's really bonkers. Can you get out of the way? I'll just throw javelins. Whoops, I didn't mean to walk towards them. Yeah, that spell's bonkers. Yeah, we basically killed an entire null pack with 6 magic points and didn't take a single point of damage. That's really strong. Alright, yeah, no. Well, we gotta wait for more spell levels. This looks like it might be another altar. I'm seeing patterns and things, so shallow water, a stone wall, some fountains. This is like a really big open area. It's kind of scaring me a bit. This might not be altars, maybe it's just a big open area. Okay, seems like it. Some gloves. I'll take the free AC. They're bright blue, which I feel is on theme for Ice Elementalist, so that's pretty good. Anon says that Venom Mage is one of the best mage backgrounds now. Maybe true, but I really don't like it with Naga. And I don't know, I don't need to get into the rant now because I'm going to be ranting for the whole playthrough when I play the Naga, but yeah, not a fan. So Liam says, when you played the seed last week, the null pack got you. Did you just not try the frozen ramparts? Or maybe you came across them from a different direction? But yeah, that's certainly the idea of this game of the month. So, you know, you might have died to something and then you see me do it. Cast the frozen rampart spell and then you go, ah, maybe I should cast the frozen rampart spell. I see. Yeah. K-White says, I mean, I didn't say I would stop once you play one. Oh, okay, so there's no point in me playing it then, if I'm not going to put you out of your misery? Is that what you're telling me? I'm going to read this too. We're still looking for identify scrolls. There it is. Let's do potions. Brilliance. And haste. Okay, in 0.25 brilliance potions have been reworked too. Formerly, they gave you extra intelligence and a wizardry effect. So early potions of brilliance would be good because they might let you cast a spell that you couldn't cast yet. So say we came across Sigmund right now and we're like, oh no, but summon Ice Beast is 43% chance to fail. We could have quaffed the brilliance. That 43 would drop and then we could cast a spell that would be out of our range. But then someone must have told the devs that I kept using brilliance potions to do things like cast Shatter and Zot when I shouldn't be able to. So they don't give wizardry anymore. And now they just give you extra spell power. Which, I mean, they're not useless, but they're much less useful than they used to be. I should exclude this. I don't want to fight Orc Wizards yet. We don't have curing as far as we're aware, so if we got confused we might just die. Plus there might be priests, there might be multiple priests. We don't want to fight them. Oh, there's Natasha who just woke up. Damn it. Natasha, extremely dangerous. Slows you, we got a 48% chance of dying to that. Does Core Imp, does Magic Dart. Well, I guess our strong play is just Frozen Ramparts, right? That's our strongest spell. And then we freeze. Question. Is Natasha evil? I think she is, right? For the purposes of the Shining One, Natasha's evil. She casts summon imp and things. Does anyone know? Because we get to fight her 2 more times. So if she's evil, I want to go join the Shining One. How does the damage on ramparts work? Does the spell power matter? Good question. I don't actually know. Let's look it up. Cactus says cats are all evil. Probably true, but I don't know if the Shining One agrees. She's a pet of Necro. Taxicab says all cats are good. All cats are definitely not good. Yes, Natasha's evil. Ashael says, alright, yeah, I want to believe that, so I'll just agree. Frozen Ramparts. The damage per Ort is less than freeze, doesn't check AC. There you go. Spell power increases the duration of the walls as well as their damage. There you go. So, yes, having a higher spell power does do more damage. Okay, so I'm going to go up. We haven't seen another altar, and we still have the faith. All the arguments that I was making before, except now we'd have to get rid of Call Imp. Apply, so yes, I think we're going to go the Shining One. From the bot, Natasha is able. Alright, thank you, Liam. Great. So yes, the Shining One is going to give us bonus piety. So we let's put the Faith Amulet on. So yes, we missed out on a bit of piety there by not having the Shining One yet for our first Natasha fight. But there you go. We what did we get? We got some flexibility that this time didn't pay off. So Natasha will respawn a couple of times, so you fight her 3 times. She's probably over there with the orcs, which isn't great. But we have ramparts, we're probably okay. It's annoying, I was trying to block line of sight. There we go. The Shining One accepts your kill, yes, he did enjoy that. Okay, cool. I can't remember if he considers priests to be evil. Let's get back in the hallway. These orcs in front are blocking the wizard in the back from confusing us. And also, I can just let the regular orcs stand next to me while I do ramparts. So that, well, he just immediately died. But the point is that the wizard would also be dying without being able to hex us. Did the Shining One like the wizard? No, he didn't. Wizards are not evil. The priests might be. I don't remember. Stringbats loves Ice Elementalist now. And with Sif Muna, you have enough mana to absolute zero every single enemy. Oh, that's true, because you don't have there's no food in the game anymore. So in Trunk, you can just use a single target level 9 spell on every enemy and not worry about the food. That's pretty funny. That's pretty bonkers. Can I even hurt a Shadow Imp? Very resistant to cold. I can't make Ice Base yet. And Hailstorm doesn't work. Well, he's very resistant to cold. Will he take some damage at least? Also, how did I get poisoned? Kobold has poison darts. Okay, well that's not good. I don't know how I can fight this imp. I feel like I can't do anything to it. Because he's very resistant to cold. Yeah, he's not taking any damage. Okay, we're just gonna have to run. He's an enemy that I feel like he took a tiny bit of damage, but not much. We can't really fight him. I'm just gonna go back upstairs. He does, so he hits for 6 damage and he does pain, which doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but if he decided to nail me with it over and over again, I don't know, it could be a bad fight, maybe not. Easy to just avoid him for the moment. And once we can summon Ice Beast, he'll be fine. He's an Natasha again. I could also learn Magic Dart, that would let me fight the Imp. That's probably something I should do. Okay, yeah. Cool. Yeah, let's learn Magic Dart. That gives us an Imp killer. Let's put that there. Gonna make a macro for it. And maybe, well, we're gonna have to learn Conjurations anyway. What's another spell? Let's just train Conjuration up to 2 or 3 quickly. It will give us a little bit more power on our Magic Dart. It will lower it from 19% chance to fail, and then it won't be wasted because we want it for Hailstorm, and we're almost certainly going to pick up more Conjurations in the future anyway. Don says, from my point of view, it's TSO that is evil. Caravaneer loves the no food life. I just wish that could be a thing IRL, because eating is annoying. It's also great, but it's annoying. Liam's halfling with Sith Moon trained no spells, dealt with all orbs of fire and ancient liches with absolute 0. Seems good. Oh, that's a D3 Centaur. Wow, okay, that's scary. Fortunately we have a rat in the way, so the rat's blocking. Summon Ice Beast is still 32% chance to fail. And they've got new things now, where if you fail summons, you summon like summons that kill you as well, right? Something like that. I kind of wish we had the Mephitic Cloud right now. That would be really good against the Centaur. But yeah, the Centaur will absolutely shred us if it's at distance and is shooting us. So if I ramparts, it's going to kill the rat and then allow the Centaur to shoot us. Okay, but we get to get adjacent to it. Alright. We're just going to have to go for it. So we've got the ramparts. We're going to freeze. Oh boy. We're 1 hit point from dying, but he's certainly about to die. I hope. So I get to freeze again. He should just die. Oh boy. Oh, alright. Takes us to level 6. And we pick strength. Oh, perfectly calculated. That is a terrifying, really early Centaur. Especially early Centaurs on fragile species. You're playing spellcasters. They would just shred you. So we got kind of lucky in that the rat bought us a bit of time. Otherwise we might have just died. Say the Centaur was just shooting us in the open, we would have died for sure to a couple of shots. But the rat bought us a turn, or maybe even 2. Let us get closer to it, and we still went to 1 hit point. Liam died to the Centaur on the 2nd attempt. Yeah, absolutely no shame in that. I absolutely could have died too. The only reason we didn't is because the Centaur rolled to take us to 1 hit point rather than 0. Yeah, we absolutely could have died there. Like that's just a terrifying thing. You have a character like this, you find an early Centaur, like you can just die. You know, it might not be anything that you necessarily did wrong or could have done to survive. Those things just happen sometimes. Oh well, in our case we survived. Here's a Phantom. So here's evil. Shining One's going to enjoy it. I'm trying to kill him with Magic Dart, it's just not working. Because he's very resistant to cold, so ramparts probably won't do anything. He just does not care at all about magic dart. I guess I can throw javelins. Javelins do nothing either. Okay, we'll just ignore him for the moment. Again, we need summon ice beast to be castable. We have here an iguana. We'll take him up. We'll do our ramparts thing, and he gets slowed because he's a silly cold-blooded lizard. See, here's a zombie. Look at all these undead things we're killing. Okay, that was greedy to go for that scroll. Uma says the kill was optimal because we didn't waste a single hit point. I should ramparts anyway. I guess that's true because it does a small amount of damage. It's better than the nothing we're kind of doing at the moment. 2 scrolls here. At this point, at the start of D4, I like to read my scrolls anyway. So yeah, like that. Because we discover, for instance, we have fear. So now if we meet another centaur in the open here on D4, and you know we're going to die in 2 turns, we can read the fear scroll. Enchant weapon goes on our spear. Let's drop the short sword. And lastly, blinking scroll, which we waste, but now have for the next time. I'm trying to take the phantom upstairs, but he won't come. Alright, let's try ramparts. And I'm swinging with my spear that's now a +1. Maybe that will do more damage. He's avoiding the ice walls anyway. It's too clever. Hey, got him. Alright, cool. And the shining one enjoyed that too. Phantoms are evil, obviously. Did someone remind me of the Faith Amulet? No, but I remembered myself. That's probably why people didn't remind me. Yes, we're wearing it. Thank you. And more skeletons. See, we'll get Shining One piety. It's never been an issue for me. A bunch of identify, so we can run through most of our potions here. Ambrosia, curing. Curing's really good to have. And heal wounds, please. Perfect. Called it. That's another scroll. We've already done both teleportation and noise, so I can just read this. Magic mapping. A super long hallway over there. That's a bit disconcerting. Or is it? Is it disconcerting, or is it just amazing because we have frozen ramparts? Alright, I want to go get that ring that's over there. And then we're going to go to the hallway. It's protection from fire. We got protection from cold and fire. That's pretty amazing. So yeah, let's stay in the hallway. Oh right, I wasn't paying attention. I was reading chat. And I'm just using magic darts on an orc priest. That's not good. Okay, well let's bring them into the cold. Man, this spell is super bonkers. For 3 magic points, we just get to kill whole orc pack. The Shining One did consider the orc priest to be evil. So the priests are evil, but the wizards are not. And here is a magical robe, which I'm going to try because we have remove curse. I have to read 1 to get rid of the leather armor to then try this, which is posture robe of positive energy. Negative energy resistance is one of the less valuable ones because we have the Shining One, but I don't know. I guess we're trying to get towards summon ice base, so this will get us there a little faster, and we'll have some positivity in the meantime. I'm not in a hurry because we're trying to get our spells up and running, but at some point maybe we should start training invocations as well, because if you can get early invocations up, and you can have angels in your Larian branches, you just absolutely destroy. Oh, what is this? Whoa. Is it the noisy sword or whatever it's called? Yep, stay positive, that's right. We have found a bloodstained longsword. An artifact sword here on D4. It's gonna give 14 extra evasion, Jason thinks. I don't know that artifact swords will give you 14 evasion ever, but maybe. So yeah, we probably want to wield this. Even if we're not a sword user, wielding a longsword can be good because you get free riposte. But also this might just have a bunch of resistances. It might give us a bunch of extra intelligence, or it might just be terrible. But we can find out. It is a plus 12 longsword of a ziggurat. It gives us RLEC, RF minus, RC plus, and RN plus. Well, I feel like we should wield this. If only because we're going to get free riposte with a plus 12 longsword. That's pretty amazing. And then we get max RC. We lose our RF, but that's fine. Because I can always just unwield this if we meet a fire enemy. And yeah, that's pretty amazing. As far as weapon types go, Deep Elves are better at long blades than most of the others, but I don't think that I would want to train longswords just because of this one. Longsword isn't an amazing base type. Maybe if this was, say, a double sword, it would push me more in that direction. But even if I did, I still wouldn't want to train it this early. I'd rather get my spells going, and I'd rather get the shining ones invo up first. But anyway, this is really good to have for free riposte. And you know, just tabbing with it with 0 skill. Plus 12 longsword. Doan. I usually prefer to kill Devessa first, rather than Doan. So I think I will go up and not mess with him just yet. Yeah, RZP says with plus 12, who cares about training? Exactly. Agree. Plus 12 will just be way better. Yeah, look at that. I tried tab there. We got it in one. Yeah, it's a pretty bonkers sword. A plus 12 weapon in the early game is just going to be amazing. Because you're going to hit with it all the time. Because it's going to be really accurate. And you're just going to do insane damage. A armor shop with the plus 10 tower shield of ignorance. Makes me think. There's also, for 88 gold, there's another embroidered robe, which I'm tempted to try. But I'm going to hold out for a bit here, because we talked about it a little bit before with the altars. But with shops especially, if you get one shop on a floor, you'll likely find more. So before I spend my gold, I'm going to see if there are other shops. Doan has fire damage. Be careful. Does he? Doesn't he do ice? He does ice shard, although they got rid of ice shard, so maybe you're right. Maybe they changed him. He has throw flame. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. We're not susceptible to fire. We just don't have the fire protection. Yeah, minus 4-inch shield on a mage. Lol. I think the bigger issue with this shield is that it's a tower shield, which is what a large shield used to be called. No, other way around. This is what... I haven't had coffee this morning, so my brain isn't at its best. I'm trying to pass this logically. Tower shield is what a large shield used to be. There you go. It's the new name. So this requires 25 shield skill, which is a lot, especially when you're a -2 shield character. So yeah, I kind of just marked it in my shopping list because it's a bit of a meme. I don't think they will actually use this, but it's not impossible. Also there are boots there. So for 108 gold, we could have an extra AC. That might be worth it as well. We'll see. We'll see what other shops are on this floor. Oh boy. Okay, here's Ijib. Ijib is fully kitted out. A +2 dagger of venom, a +1 leather armor of fire resistance, and a wand of paralysis. This is terrifying. The wand of paralysis, I don't know what chance it has to get us, but it's probably pretty high. The thing I want to do is do a frozen ramparts. So at least if I get paralyzed here, we're still doing damage over time. And then what's our chances of summon Ice Beast are 14%. I feel like it's worth doing. Oh, don't paralyze me. Okay, it went behind us unfortunately. Let's go again. I need to make a macro for this. Okay, I just wanted to get an Ice Beast behind me so that I could step behind it and not get paralyzed. But wasn't to be. Alright, so we want the Dagger of Venom. That's good for kiting things. And we definitely want the leather armor of fire resistance. We were just talking about how we lost our fire resistance, but this gives it back to us. It's +1, so we get extra defense out of it being enchanted. And then as I've talked about previously, I prefer leather armors early game to robes. It just means it kicks summon Ice Beast back out to being 21% chance to fail. But that's fine. We're gonna keep doing summoning. I'm gonna train ice magic just normally, not focus for the moment, and set a skill target at 8. Yeah, no, I didn't think we need to telly. If Ijib had, say, an acid wand or something that was going to just kill us, then maybe I'd teleport. But for paralysis, if we're still doing damage over time, I feel like it maybe would have been okay. +12 sword, just tab him. Yeah. That's also a decent argument. We got ID. Potion of degen, no thank you. Yeah, so we're focusing summoning conjurations, that's fine. A new ring. A ring of stealth. We have max cold resistance without wearing the cold resistance ring just from our sword, so I guess we may as well have some extra stealth. We're playing the shining one, where your halo alerts enemies, but you know our halo is only small at the moment, so maybe the extra stealth will do something. Dowen again. Dowen, whatever he's called. Because what happens is if you kill him first, Devessa then berserks, and I find that's much scarier than the version where Dowen gets upgraded. Here she is, with a hound. What has she got? Just a short sword. I'll just go back upstairs for the moment and deal with the hound. Down and Devessa will never leave the floor if only one of them were going to come up and not the other one. So I could fight her here and then always just go back upstairs if things were going poorly. Unless both are together, they won't follow you. Or one's dead, then they will. The other one will come. I guess we'll have a +2 leather armor fire resistance. This is making me less likely to try that embroidered robe because this leather armor fire resistance is pretty much perfect. Marsh asked me if I'm planning on staying with the shining one. So yeah, that's an interesting question. So the shining one, because he's one of the good gods, he won't punish you or give you wrath if you leave to join a non-evil god. So yes, we actually could switch to say Vehemet and not take any penalty. But no, at this point in time I'm not planning to change. But I mean that might change. Mr. Contrafet, what? Scholar Fear works on groupies. Yep, there you go. Alexander thinks that Darwin is more dangerous than Mad. It's sort of a bit situational. So if you're far away from Juvessa where she berserks and you can just go upstairs and then it's wasted, then she's less dangerous, I guess. But you never know. If you meet her in the open and you don't have a chance to run, she's terrible. Here's Sigmund. Scary. 37% chance to confuse us. Let's throw the ramparts up and just run, I guess. We just kite him and he just dies to this spell because it is bonkers. And I can do it again. And even though I'm confused, he's just gonna die. Oh, Darwin went. Damn it. Darwin just met us and hasted himself. Yeah, I guess we're gonna go upstairs. We'll deal with Sigmund later. One of these at a time is scary enough. And look at that. So I killed him. I didn't fully kill him, but I did a lot of damage with a free riposte there. So he attacked me, I got the free riposte, I then tabbed again. I don't know, I feel like tab with this sword is probably stronger than Phrase's. It's pretty insane. He's still damaged. Alright, you're gonna go invis, that's fine. I know you're there. Magic Dart doesn't miss. Wait, what? Oh, that's fine. Magic Dart doesn't miss. So they're all gonna connect. Cool. He had another potion of brilliance. We've got 5 of those already. Liam says switch to Trog, please. I mean, we could. Nothing scary when you have a plus 12 longsword. Good argument. So, see, here's Sif Muna. So, we found a D5 Sif Muna. I'm only at 1 pip of piety with the shining one. So, maybe this is legit. What do people think? Would it be legit to switch to Sif? So, let's have a look. So, Sif, I tend to think is one of the weaker gods. But one thing that she'll do is she'll gift us all the spells over time. Eventually, we'll get every single spell in the game. But I don't think her abilities are that amazing. So you can channel piety to get some magic points back. And then she also lets you cast spells from your library without learning them. But for a character like this, I don't know, I don't think that's super strong. I mean, it can be good for some panic buttons. Things like Control Blink is still in this version. It's removed in Trunk. Or, I don't know, things like... I don't know, anything we want to cast, we probably can learn with a Deep Elf. So yeah, I don't know, I feel like I don't want to. Don Don says, personally I hate TSO on casters. See, if this was Vehumet, I think I'd pick. But I don't know that Sif I would pick. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't love Sif with it just getting rid of the being able to cast when you don't have the magic points for things anymore. And it's just the costs are so high. I remember I played through some Sif on, I think it was a melee character, I don't remember. But the point is, I barely used any of the abilities. I don't think I used Channel Magic even once. And even then I was struggling to keep my piety up. It just seems the piety is too slow. It's too underwhelming generally. Other than a few times you use the spell library thing, it's kind of fun. But yeah, I don't think our character needs it. We're going to stick with the shining one. Oh, and we didn't get any more shops. But you know what? I don't think I care about this robe. I think the fire resistance leather armor is perfect. I think I don't mind spending 100 gold for an extra AC though. Yeah, like think back to our centaur fight where we went to 1 hit point. One extra AC could be the difference between life and death. And especially for a character that's like this is quite fragile. Every AC counts. If this were a Minotaur or a Deep Dwarf or something, maybe those boots wouldn't be so important, but for a Deep Elf, they absolutely are. Seeing more altars. It's a ring of ice. Well, that makes all our ice spells stronger, right? It does. Interesting. I think we wear this. We have just a million cold resistance right now. That once again gets rid of our RF, but again, we could either take the ring off or unwield the sword if we want RF. But this means that all our ice spells will be stronger. That includes summon Ice Beast when we get to it. But for Freeze, Frozen Ramparts, Hailstorm when we get to it, all of those will be stronger. So it's probably worth keeping. King just says, we're doing 15 runes, so we might as well go the Shining one, right? I think I've done enough 15 runes for a little while. Yeah, see, RZP said, oh, is this 15 rune? No, it's not. See, people are just trying to bully me into it again. I see a new spellbook, it's exciting. I don't like that he got next to us. Huh, he fell back, weakening ramparts again. Cannot sustain more ramparts right now. Really? You can only have one at a time? That's not fair, this spell needs to be buffed. Ah, it's a book of necromancy. Okay, they're totally worthless with the shining one. Also, we have more spell levels. I wanna have blink. I just want it in my spell list. Because, you know, we might have situations where that saves us. And probably, do I need Mephitic Cloud? Maybe not yet. We have a Paralysis Wand, so we could cheese things with that, if need be. We got a Resistance Potion. So we got Rue here. I don't think I want to change to Rue. That had Fedas in it. Don't think I want to change to Fedas either, although Fedas is not terrible. I quite enjoyed playing Fedas in the tournament game I played with it. And here's McCleb. McCleb would not work. The Shining One would get angry if I did McCleb. McCleb is evil. Dr. Jeffe says, obviously not 15 runes today, go for it next week. You're all bullies. Where are we? We're on D7. Okay. There's our temple. We've got a -1 trident. Not exciting. I mean, we can go look in the temple, but I think I'm happy with the Shining One for the moment. Although we're still only at 1 piety. Maybe we could do a vehement switch. Let me see. Maybe we will. Let's go see. Is Vehement in here? Okay, if you hit Control O, it will show you all the altars you found. And we have found all of them except for Okawari. Okay, so we made it to one pip of piety with the Shining One. We didn't get extremely far into it, and we haven't trained any invocations at this point. So I feel like, you know, it wouldn't be a huge deal to switch. I'm just thinking. So where is Vehement? Oh, there. Let's have a look. So Vehement, I don't think is an extremely strong god in the sense that he won't solo carry you like a Ured would, or a Fedas or a Hep would, where you can just sit back and let your god do all the work. But he does do a bunch of things that make caster life nicer. Am I switching gods? Well, that's what we're talking about. So the Shining One will let you leave as long as you don't worship an evil god afterwards. So Vehement's not considered evil as far as I'm aware. It will give me a prompt if it isn't. But the things that Vehement does, he will offer you spells periodically. When you kill enemies, you'll get extra magic points back from doing it. He lowers your fail rates on destructive spells, and then he gives you an extra point of range. Most of those things are just passive, but they make your life a lot nicer. Having magic points back lets you stay in fights for longer. Being offered spells is good. Being better at destructive spells is good, and having extra range, all those things are great. So, I don't know, I think this is a solid argument. What are people saying? People talking about HEP. Alex is saying, how does the switch interact with the Amulet of Faith? I would take the Amulet of Faith off. So if you go from one good god to one of the others, so Ellie, the Shining One, or Zin, you'll keep some of your piety. But if I switch from the Shining One to Vehumet, I won't keep any. So I'll just remove the Amulet of Faith. And the reason I would do that is because Vehumet is a god who really doesn't want an Amulet of Faith. For one, his things are all passive, so it's not like having more piety gives you more god abilities. The other thing is that you kind of want him to slow down his god gifting, because sometimes when he gives you a bunch of good spells, you're limited by your spell levels. So by having the Amulet of Faith, we'll have even more trouble with that, because we'll have less experience, less time, we'll have fewer spell levels. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't want the Amulet of Faith on. Liam keeps talking about smelly friends. I'm not sure what that means. King just saying, what does occasionally watch over you mean? I'm wondering the same thing. I don't remember ever seeing that before 0.25. It said the same for Sif. So yeah, I don't know what that means. Oh, no, I'm not sure what that means for Vehumet. Marsh says, what about Zin? The thing about Zin is that he really, really wants you to go all in on invocations. His abilities require a very heavy invocation investment to be strong. And that's probably not one that you want to train on a heavy caster like this, because you got to train so many things already with all the different spell schools, and then wanting to train, defenses and things, that we don't really have time to do that much invo. Whereas Vehumet, we won't have to train any invo. Zombies, I got the book. Oh, I see what you mean. We could cast necromancy things again. I got you. Yeah, I think I don't mind this switch. I think we're gonna take it. If I had made more progress towards the Shining One piety and I'd been training invo, then I'd be less likely to do this. But, oh, I forgot to take the amulet off. Oh well, it's gonna make him angry because I'm gonna drop it now. Whoops. Okay, yeah, so he seems less interested in me, so I just lost some of the very small amount of piety that I started with. Although, as we just discussed, I'm not that concerned about Vehumet piety. Okay, so can I cast Summon Ice Beast? Kind of. I can walk across the deep water and go fight those things. Or not. Hippogriffs can fly, apparently. Are they fast? Since when are hippogriffs fast? They're not. It's just that he was faster than me over the water because I was waiting and he was flying. Okay. I just was about to freak out that they made hippogriffs fast. Vehumet is going to just accept kills. He's happy when you kill anything. So yeah, that's all fine. Alright. I'm just tabbing things with my sword. It's pretty insane. Poison darts. We don't really need it. Man, this sword is bonkers. I'm just tabbing at the moment. Do we have more identify? No. Okay. On we go. What was that book? It was a double up of Minor Magic. Damn. I was excited that we'd found even more books. We've been pretty lucky with our book finding this early. Here's a killer bee. That means almost certainly more killer bees. But frozen ramparts in a hallway is perfect for bees. Oh hey, we just got shafted 3 floors. Nice. We're now a tab wizard. We're up roll. Yeah, gods will excommunicate at 0. Yeah, but I'm just gonna run around and kill some stuff and get that piety back, so it's fine. Yeah, so we just got shafted to D10. Not good. Devs decided to test out our character. I'm picking strength here on the level up. And we're basically just going to try to find the upstair here. I have no magic mapping. As soon as we find stairs, we'll go back up. I'm not hugely afraid. Although I am a little bit afraid. We could definitely find some scary monsters here. But it's not like being shafted 3 floors from D3 to D6. That's way worse. A troll. We're gonna ramparts it. Come back here. Come in the hallway. Okay, now fight. So you can at least be damaging him over time. And we got a troll of the armor, which is interesting. I think these no longer work unless you're max hit points. I think that was a change in 0.25 as well. So it sort of doesn't help us carrying around it anymore unless we want to wear it. But I think with our ice ring and our RC minus sword, we probably want to stick in the fire armor for the moment. But let's have a look. Yeah. Okay, so this is less AC. The only thing we're doing is getting a bit more hit points. So having the RF and the extra AC is better. We hit level 8 for our ice magic, which is good. This is almost certainly our lair entrance. I saw the troll, we're seeing hounds now, there's an eel. I think this often has wolves in it, and wolves are quite a lot faster than us and scary, so I'm going to stay away from that. We're also not ready for lair just yet. A water moccasin. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, now that we've we can we can summon ice base fairly reliably. We're a lot stronger because summons are really, really good. Especially when they're fighting stuff that's standing in a frozen ramparts. That's insanely strong. Back up to D8. We've got one more floor to go. Upstairs. And we're back. That wasn't so bad. Could have been bad though. A magical ring mail. You know, we may as well find out. It's +3. So it's quite a bit extra AC over our leather armor. But it's going to make our spells harder to cast again. And we lose the RF. So it's an interesting ring mail to find. If it had been +3 ring mail of fire resistance, I may well have worn it, but not to be. Vehement offers me knowledge of Sandblast. No thank you. And a net. That is a +4 ring of protection. Ooh. You know what? Let's wear that at all times. We'll walk around susceptible to fire, which is dangerous. But I'm just going to have to be really on my toes that whenever I see a fire enemy, I immediately unwield my sword. And then we can always take the ring off. Come on, Ice Blast was a Freudian slip. No comment. Water Disintegration. We have what, +1 evocations aptitude, but I'm not really that interested. Same as when I was talking about Invo for Zin. I don't want to waste our experience training more things. Here's Gastronoc. With a +1 hat of magic resistance, which I would love. But Gastronoc can do 50 damage airstrikes. Right? We could be one shot by Gastronoc. Gastronaut can do 37 damage airstrikes, so not quite one-shot us, but can easily two-shot us. But I wonder if I can just kill Gastronaut from range with Ice Beast. If I keep him at the edge of my line of sight, so if we take a heavy ice airstrike, I step out of it, we might be able to just kill him from distance. Except he's being sneaky. How many Ice Beasts can we have? I always forget this, if you can have 3 or 4. Who remembers? How many Ice Beasts can you have? Hey Steven. How's it going? Stringbat says don't do this with 45 hit points. See, Gastronoc is slow, so as long as, even with swiftness, as long as you're on the edge of line of sight, he won't get you twice. You can have 3 at once. Okay, thank you everyone. And my Ice Beasts are actually winning. They just comfortably beat Gastronoc without losing a single one. That's crazy. I guess it helps somewhat that we have the Ring of Ice, so it even improves the spell power of our Ice Beast, but that went way better than expected. Now we get, oh, this is cool. We get an extra AC, we get magic resistance, and this blue hat is perfectly matched with our blue gloves, which is perfectly on theme for our Ice Elementalist background. We have hit the jackpot with fashion this game, I feel. Oh yeah, Summon Ice Beast, good spell. 3, it was in the spell description. Yeah, you can sustain it miss 3, you are correct. See, I haven't had a coffee today, that's my excuse. My brain doesn't work yet. Reach level 10. We're staying away from the lair entrance for the moment. Yeah, because I didn't want to fight the wolves, but here they are. It's fine. Ramparts is a strong spell. This +12 sword is strong. It's all strong. Aesthetic elf? Oh, elf aesthetic, I see. I thought you meant aesthetic, as in you don't quaff any potions or read any scrolls. It's like, we're not aesthetic. Wait, that's ascetic, which is not the same as aesthetic. Okay, I see what you said now. Aesthetic, right. I have Arlek. Oh yeah, you're right. I completely forgot about that. Arlek's on our sword. Yeah, right. So we don't care about the eels very much at all. Thank you. Man, those wolves get murdered. I was afraid of those. Enchant Armor Scroll, we're immediately putting that on our Hat of Magic Resistance, because that's an item that we may well have all game. Shell says, as long as we don't commit too much to hubris, we probably won't have too much trouble winning. I feel like that is way too early to make such a claim. I don't know if you saw me go to 1 hit points against the Centaur, but yeah, I'm not at the point of we're winning the game here. We're not even at lair yet. Come on now. That's the the ZXQ meme. Oh, not ZXQ. XQC meme. Where every time you make it to lair, you should win. And look, here's a centaur. Speaking of centaurs, I'm gonna yell. I'm gonna bring him to this corner, so I can step around it and bring him to me. Except he didn't want to. It's fine. Yeah, I'm just tabbing ogres on my Deep Elf. I probably shouldn't do that. I don't know, this sword's so good. Yeah, plus 12 longsword. Oh, I accidentally went into lair. We weren't ready for that just yet. That could have been a mistake. If there was a volcano or something there, that might have forced me to start exploring lair when I didn't want to just yet. Should pay more attention. Not punished this time though. Cool, on to D11. We'll do D11. I usually prefer to do D11 before lair. Ooh, Vehement offers me knowledge of shock. I probably won't bother. Shock's nice because it goes through enemies. But not through ice base. I think I probably won't bother. Speaking of ice base, let's have an ice base battle. 2v1, because that's fair. Get clown on. Again, I'm just tabbing the warrior. This is where I needed the shining one. The scene viz. Caravaneer was doing an unarmed Minotaur of Wu the other day. One shot the royal jelly with a serpent strike. That's pretty sick. Hey, it's Mr. Tree. If only you could be a deep orc of beer. Yeah, I was talking earlier about how it was probably Mango. If it was anyone I was going to suggest it would be Mango. But someone was suggesting we should worship beer on a Deep Elf. And I was saying if only that were possible. Yeah, Evelyn, shock is at its strongest when you can do walls up. But it's still pretty good because it partially, as elect damage, it ignores AC. So unlike a lot of the other level 1 spells, it's still kind of good on heavily armored enemies. And then also being able to shoot down the line is also pretty good. But yeah, it's a level 1 spell. It's still not, you know, I'm saying it's okay. It's never extremely good at this point in the game. A chaos spawn? Why is there a chaos spawn? And why isn't it taking any cold damage? There we go. I dissed Sandblast but considered shock. And then you're shocked. I see. Yeah, no, Sandblast is good early, but gets a lot worse because it checks AC of enemies a whole bunch of times. So the later in the game you are, the worse Sandblast is. Whereas shock is the opposite. Well, not quite the opposite, but it's still good later, is the point. I'm just gonna tab stuff. Man, maybe we should be training swords. We don't need to. Oh, that's another chaos spawn. I don't want to fight a chaos spawn. Enchant armor scroll, meh. Oh, we also picked up the Mace of Variability. I just noticed that's why we had all the chaos spawns. I do not want that. It's kind of funny. It does chain chaos, so it causes all sorts of wackiness. But we're definitely not a mace character, and definitely not a chaos mace character. Ashel's talking about a Zig character. Yeah, you should win. No, I don't know. Who knows? Once you're doing Zigs, normal rules do not apply. Shadow's saying just wait until you get absolute zero. Yeah, no, I've seen it. I played absolute zero in the tournament .25 game I played. It's bonkers. Yeah, just being able to just one-shot Orbs of Fire is insane. Absolutely insane. We almost certainly will see it. I mean, it's not guaranteed, but there's a good chance that Vehement will give it to us. It's the replacement of Glaciate, if you're unaware. So when you get to max piety, he offers you three high-level spells, and I guess he would offer absolute zero now. Yeah, it's really strong. So there's a good chance we'll see it this game, and we will not have to worry about Orbs of Fire or whatsoever. And with Vehement, he'll give us an extra range on it, right? An extra tile. So it's going to make it even crazier. Alright, let's go to Lair now. I don't love doing D12 before Lair. Seems like often the difference between D11 and D12 is substantial. And also, even I used to just sometimes stick my head in and try and kill some stuff, but then I got punished by portals a bunch, so I stopped doing that. We found a rune scarf. There is a Scarf of Harm, but it does not drain you. It's a Scarf of Invis. Is it a grey scarf? No, it's purple. Okay, that looks alright. Sort of goes with our blue. A blue scarf would have been better. We don't have a cloak, so we may as well have the scarf. 71% chance to go invis. We could train 5 evocations to go invis, but I feel like it's just not necessary. Wow, that guy owned me even though I have so much cold resistance. Oh boy, that guy actually nearly killed us, and we have max RC. Why can't we kill? Why are we dying to RC? Also, which just reminded me, we should learn Hailstorm. So I just completely lost track. We've trained summonings up to 11.2. I guess we'll set a skill target at 12. We'll focus Ice up to, I guess, 12 to match it. And let's train some Conjurations so that we can use Hailstorm. But I'm surprised by how much we just got absolutely owned. When we have max RC. Yeah, Todd, you could play a caster of Fetus. Live up to your namesake. They're pretty legit. It's Ring of Flight, we're going to ditch that. Oh yeah, I didn't make a point of it, but in .25, a lot of these rings are standardized. So rings of protection will always be +4 protection or -4. Same with evasion, which I like. So anytime you get a protection ring, it's and it's positive, it's going to be a good one. So you know you're an Octopode and you find 3 of them, you have +12 AC rather than walking around with +1 and +2s on. Evelyn asked if I ever considered a community Discord. I made one once before I could stream in a tournament so that people could watch me, but then I never bothered. Plus, I don't know. I feel like Demise's Discord, I haven't been there in a while because I haven't had time, but has a pretty nice community feel that I like, so probably don't really need one. Plus I've been bad at going on Discord, so yeah. If I'm not around much, what makes it different from the other community Discords for Crawl? We saw a Hydra for a second there, which normally would be really scary, except we can Frozen Ramparts it and it's going to get slowed. Don't even bother It's an artifact chainmail, but I already know it's too heavy, so I just don't want to know what amazing things it has on it. Oh, also we can absolutely just destroy hydras with ice base too. They slow it, and look at them. They're just not even challenged. Who even needs frozen ramparts? A black mamba, that's a bit scary. But again, ice base will just kill it. Too easy. Alright, I like this character. Ice Elementalist was strong with Ice Base, and now that you have Ice Base and Ramparts, you're just insane. We've got 3 enchant armor scrolls. I think I'm just going to sit on those. You know, maybe at some point we'll go to a dragon armor. Yeah, this sword is definitely something. And we found it on what, D4? We found it really early in the dungeon. It's pretty insane. Scroll of Amnesia. Yeah, you know what? Let's get rid of Magic Dart. I feel like at this point we don't really need it anymore. Alright, sorry about that. I completely forgot what I was saying. Sorry. A File of Floods. So this has also been reworked. There are a bunch of different item changes in 0.25, including a bunch of removals. So there's no more Crystal Ball of Energy and some other things. File of Floods no longer gives you a summon, but it silences enemies. It gives them a waterlogged status. I used it once in the tournament, and I found it kind of a little bit difficult to work out what was going on with it. Oh, he got off the wall. Damn you. What's our other spell? Hailstorm. Go. There you go. That's our first Hailstorm use. Alright. So Hailstorm. Let me make a macro. What this does is, as you can see, it randomly shoots around you, but not next to you. And so it can be really good or it can be really bad. It's kind of random. I'm not a huge fan of it. I feel like it's very unreliable. If I try it, you know, there you go. I hit one and not much of the others. See, we're not hitting them much. There you go. So, I mean, it can be okay, but in really dangerous situations especially, hard to rely on. You can hear the real-time speedrunning kicking in. You want me to start O-tabbing? Ooh. We have magic mapping, but that's grand weapon? A rapier of draining? Yeah. That means labyrinth. Minotaur's lab is around somewhere. Oh, I meant to do summon ice base, not walk off the stair. This is kind of bad too. I just realized they're not on the wall, so they're not gonna actually die if I just do that. Blink frogs are scary, as is a wyvern. Oh yeah. Sorry, I was getting completely distracted. We actually could die here. Wyverns can bite for 20 damage, and we only have 16 hit points. I'm gonna fear them. We have 4 of those. Oh, the wyvern bites me, didn't get feared. Are we gonna die? No. Oh, dear. Okay. Let's try again. There you go. Alright. Let's pay attention and not die just to random blink frogs and wyverns. I was trying to think about the labyrinth. But yeah, we want to find that. That's the extent that I was thinking about it, I guess. Well, we lost 2 of our fear scrolls. That was kind of a waste. But who earlier was saying that basically we could just win the game at this point? There's your reminder that We definitely can't, and that's a death yak who can hit for 30, which stops me going back upstairs. Damn it. Alright, well, that's not good. Oh boy, I was about to say, I have to step here. Yeah, okay. We're in a lot of trouble. If this guy random energies and bites us, we just die, potentially. Fear scrolls on death yaks are not advisable because they have really high magic resistance, so there's a good chance it doesn't work. What else? Quaffing heal wounds, there's no point. These guys hit for 30, so the two of them is 60. So my best bet is I just have to try to run away. Hope I can escape, not get sandwiched with another enemy. Oh, there's a labyrinth. Okay, they can't follow you in. I don't know if they get a chance to hit you when you go in though. Does anyone know? Is this like a... I think if you go in a portal, you just go in. It's not like a stair where you have to ascend. I have random blinks, but that could just kill me because has a 13% chance to fail, and it could just blink me next to them anyway. I think, yeah, if I get a gap, I can haste, but I'm pretty sure that when you go in a portal, you just go in. Enemies definitely can't follow you in portals. I know that one for a fact. They do, as in they do get to hit me. You're pretty sure they get a hit still. Okay. I feel like this is on my website. I'm gonna look it up. I guess I could look it up with you. Okay, parachute tactics. Help me. Help me, parachute. Okay, portals. Alright. So, enemies won't follow you into them. So, they won't come with me. But the question is whether they get to hit me. So, do they count as stairs? So being shafted isn't like stairs, there's no leaving delay. That's fine. And then portals are different again. Hey Salamander, yeah, you come in at a at a rough time. RZP says you still think this is our best gamble even if we do risk a hit. Only one way to find out. Yeah, I don't know how portals work. And you're right, if I get sandwiched, it'll be even worse. Because I'll have to take a turn to haste or something, and I'll be giving them the same chance. But in saying that, if we take longer, we could add more hit points back. Do a source dive? I don't know how to do a source dive. It would be so anticlimactic if I go in and we just die. My other options, so I could run away, try to loop around, get a gap, and come back. Yeah, I could run around the pillar and come back. Liam says, even if it counts as leaving, which is 0.75 turns, they'll still get a hit, even if it works like a stair. But the thing is, I don't know that it works like a stair. I don't know if I use my turn and then I'm just gone. Let me see. Because I'm trying to think of coming out of Abyss. The monsters come with you, but I can't ever think of a time where, you know, you're dying and you come out of Abyss and the monsters hit you again. It's not instant, you just tried it in whiz mode. Alright, thank you. Alright, thank you, Uma. There you go, we got our answer. No, but which side did you try? Did you try Abyss or did you try a portal? Because for Abyss, the enemies follow you. Alright, Evelyn says, if I do a random blink, there's a 50% chance of creating a usable gap. I think I'd rather risk this than a random blink then. They do get a hit. Baron says, I entered Gauntlet with enemies adjacent just today. Alright, well in that case, I think we probably don't risk it. Even if I run around, maybe we'll have more hit points, so I'll get a chance to haste. I'm just going to hope they don't random energy me, and we don't meet another scary enemy. I really want him to drop back a tile. We could haste, we could run back around. I just... Random energy back, please. Give me a gap. Where am I going? Without ever knowing the way. Yeah, 57. I get you. But that's also a 13% chance that the spell fails. Get more hit points than Telly, Kingdra says. No. I feel like I'd rather take one shot going into the portal than I would teleporting. Because this is mostly an unexplored floor. So the teleport could land us in a lot of terrible spots. What I could do here, because I've only got one on me right now. I could quaff a heal wounds here. With only one hitting me, if I quaff heal wounds, I probably don't die. And if it misses or doesn't do much damage, then I can go in the portal. I think I like that. At worst, I quaff the heal wounds, it hits me, and we're back in the same spot, but at best, it buys us the turn we need. There you go. It didn't even hit me. It missed. I even got to riposte it. Okay, now we have enough hit points to take one attack, so we can go into the gauntlet. And look, we did get hit too. How much did we get hit for? Not quite 15, so we wouldn't have died the first time maybe if it was the same roll. But yeah, okay, that worked out. Do I have nets? Yes, I did. But yeah, throwing a net is risky. Alright, so the thing to remember here is when we come back out of the portal, we're going to be surrounded by death yaks. So I need some really strong reminders to read teleport scrolls before I come out. Maybe haste and run. We might be surrounded, so it'd probably be teleport reading might be the better one. Anyway, but that's going to have to be next week because that's it for me today. I've got to run and do some things. As always, thanks everyone for hanging out. I'm really glad that we survived that one at the end there. Very useful there with the answers on a few things, but particularly on that portal one there. That was very helpful. Baron asks if I have invis. I don't, but I have an invis scarf. Oh yeah, you can't read teleport in gauntlets. You're right, so I can't read it before I leave. Okay, well we might just... I don't know what we'll have to do. I know what we'll do. We'll train translocation skill here in Gauntlet so that we can do the blinking spell more reliably when we come out. I'm going to make a note to myself which says train translocations and for death yaks. Okay, but maybe I'll just turn translocations on now because I'm going to forget. Alright, all in translocations, let's go. And then people try to remind me next week. Alright, and invis. Yeah, that too. Alright. So, well, the invis is fine because we can just keep spamming it until it leaves before... it doesn't have to work immediately like the blink will. Alright, yep, so that's me. Thanks everyone. Hope you enjoyed this one. And I'll see you back next week to keep testing out Earth Elementalist? Ice Elementalist. That's the one we're playing. Alright, bye.